Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to discuss video lecture based on unit 3 topic. As I said earlier that all units are divided into part A and part B. So this unit is also divided into two parts, wherein the part A of unit 3 is basically dealing with respect to electric supply to induction motor in industries, and part B will be dealing with respect to the power factor correction. In this particular unit, we will be discussing upon various topics related to introductory part of the induction motor and starter, then necessity of starter, types of starter, contactors and overload relays. So these are the topic of discussions for this particular unit. So let us begin with the discussion now. Now, as we all know that in industries, basically AC motors are used because of their convenient form, easy use and highest robustness, and control is also easy. As far as AC motors are considered, there are two types of AC motors which are widely used in industries called induction motor and synchronous motor. Synchronous motors are basically quite complicated for use and are restricted for use of power factor correction devices. Whereas in case of induction motor, since variety of applications are there, they can be easily adaptable to any change of the requirement. Induction motors are widely used as a drive in case of industries. Near about 80% of electrical load is induction motor load. So hence, it is very important to understand the characteristic, the control, the basic operation of these induction motors. Now let us discuss in detail about the same. So when we talk about induction motor, when we talk about industrial use of induction motor, it is important to discuss about the basic phenomenon called as the rotor current. Because unless and until we don't know about the value of the rotor current, we cannot have a proper control over the induction motor drive. So since the rotor current is important to control a element or a device called as starter is used in industries for induction motor starting and controlling. Now, why we use starter? So the basics is this equation. Here you can see this rotor current I2 is given by the ratio of SE2 upon under root of R2 square plus SX2 square. Whereas this S is a slip, E2 is a rotor induced EMF, R2 and X2 are the resistance and rotor reactance at standstill. Their values are very less during start. And during start, the motor speed is 0, so the slip is very high, relatively maximum. So hence, considering these are very low values, slip is maximum, the rotor induced EMF multiplied by slip, this voltage is too high at the time of starting, because of which the value of rotor current I2 is again very high. If such kind of heavy current is applied directly to induction motor during start, the windings will get damaged. So it is very important to control this value of current I2 during start, and hence the device called as starter is used. As far as the technical definition is considered, a starter is a device which is basically used to limit high starting current by supplying reduced voltage to the motor at the time of starting. This starter not only provides the reduced voltage at the time of starting, but also provides certain additional protection to induction motor against overloading and also against low voltage situations. When there is a short circuit or overloading takes place, there are certain protective devices incorporated in the starter itself which will take care of those situations. Now, depending on how the starters are used and up to what capacity induction motor these starters are used, there are three types of starters which are widely used in industries. They are direct online starter, abbreviated as DOL starter, star delta starter and auto transformer starter. As far as the use of these starter is considered, DOL starters are used up to 5 HP induction motor capacity, star delta 5 to 15 HP, then auto transformer beyond that value, that is beyond 15 HP induction motor capacity, auto transformer starters are used. Now let us discuss all these three starters one by one. Have a start with direct online starter. As I said, they are used up to 5 HP induction motor capacity, connects motor directly to supply. Then there is no reduced voltage during start, used because it protects the motor from several abnormal operating conditions like overloading, low voltage and single phasing. Even though it do not provide any less starting voltage during start, just because they provide protection against these conditions, they are widely used up to 5 HP induction motors. So as far as the diagram of the DOL starter is considered, this is one. These are the three-phase supply terminals. The fuse for overloading or over voltage protection, sometimes also provided short circuit protection. Then thermal overload relay, they gives protection specifically with respect to overloading condition, and single phasing also. Here we have a magnetizing coil of the contactor, which will either energized or de-energized, either opening or closing the contacts. So when these contacts are closed, motor will receive full supply voltage. When these contacts are open, motor is disconnected from the stator terminals with respect to the supply. There are two switch buttons, push buttons, called start push button and stop push button. The start push button is a NO contact, whereas stop push button is a NC contact. NO means normally open and NC means normally closed. Now how this operates? Let us have the operation. Now say for a moment we have a DOL starter. We have start push button and stop push button, which is required to be fed to this kind of induction motor. L1, L2 and L3 are the three-phase line terminals. So when I push the start push button, supply is available to the contactor. It will get energized and closes the contact. So thus the motor started. Let us discuss now with respect to the power and control circuit of the induction motor starter. This is a power circuit. This is a control circuit. This is a contactor which will be either energizing or de-energizing to close or open these contacts. So when I push basic circuit breaker, first the supply is available to the terminals, but since these contactor terminals are open, supply is not going to be available to stator terminal of the motor and motor remains idle. So when I push the start push button, supply is available now to the contactor. Contactor gets energized, closes these contacts 1, 2, 3 point, and then supply is made available to stator terminal of the induction motor, hence it started. So after some time, start push button gets open automatically, since it's a normally open switch. When you release it, it gets open, but because this circuit is closed, motor starts running. When you push the stop push button, which is normally closed, now you're opening, the supply gets disconnected to the contactor. Contactor de-energizes, opening the contact terminals, the motor stops. So as far as now induction motor is considered, the torque equation is again important. So let us discuss about the torque equation with respect to the DOL starting. In case of DOL starter, full line voltage is applied to the stator terminal directly. Hence, starting torque is proportional to square of the starting current, and full load torque is proportional to the ratio of full load current square to the full load slip. Taking the ratio TST by TFL, we will get IST or ISC by IFL whole square into SF. So this is the basic torque ratio for a DOL starter. Now as far as the characteristics of DOL starter are considered, available starting torque is 100% since full supply voltage is available. Peak starting current is 6 to 8 times. This is very important since peak starting current is not reduced. There is no use over the use of DOL starter. Just because it provides additional protection, they are used up to 5 HP induction motor. Peak starting current almost 100%. Advantages: most economical and cheapest one, simple to establish, connect, operate, control is very easy, provides 100% torque, and motor is connected in delta at the motor terminals. It requires only one set of cable for stator to connect. Disadvantage: does not reduce the starting current, high starting current typically 6 to 8 times, mechanically harsh since thermal stresses are there because of frequent switch on and switch off. There is a voltage drop just because since the complete voltage is available during start, and very high starting torque. Suitable for motors up to 5 HP, not suitable beyond that capacity. Now second is the star delta starter. Again, the very cheapest one compared to the third auto transformer starter. Uses TPDT switch, that is triple pole double throw switch. First connect the stator winding in star and then in delta during the running condition. It reduces the voltage at start since it is connected in star initially. This is how it looks like, the supply terminals. Then this is the star winding, that is star connected terminals during start, and for running it is connected in delta. These are the stator winding terminals. Let us have a look over the operation. This is a power circuit, supply terminals, circuit breaker, contacts, the star contactor, then delta contactor. These are the main contactor. Okay, then start contactor coil, main contactor coil. There is a timer to switch on from star to delta in case of automatic star delta starter, and for manually there is no timer, you have to switch on manually from star to delta. Then this is a delta contactor coil. Now let us have the operation. Normally open, that is start push button, stop push button. Circuit breaker is closed, giving supply to the respective terminals. When you switch on the start contactor, start, main, timer receiving supply. Timer is initiated for the set period of time. Motor is started. Since now the contactor is closed in star, motor started. So when you close the delta contactor, star contactor is de-energized automatically. Now the terminals are connected in delta. Motor is receiving full supply voltage. Usually what happens when the motor is started in star, after attaining 80% of the normal switch speed, it is thrown in the delta connection. So this is all about star delta starter. So if we look at the TST by TFL ratio of the star delta starter, only this fraction 1/3 comes in picture, rest of the same as equals to the DOL starter. Now 1/3 is there since during start the motor is connected in star, so 1/√3 times the voltage is there. Squaring the term, we will get 1/3 times. Now how to select the respective rating of this star delta starter? Since there is a overload relay, there is a overload relay in the winding line, then corresponding star contactor, then delta contactor. So simple thing is that when you want to have setting of the overload relay for line, it will be full load capacity of the motor. When you have the overload relay setting in the winding, it is 58% of the full load capacity. Since each winding receives only 1/3 of the voltage, that's why. Then for main contactor as a delta, size of the contactor will be 58%, 1/√3 times, and for star it is 33%. Since 1/3 times the ratio is available, we have to select accordingly. Then starting characteristics of star delta starter. Available starting current is only 33%. In case of DOL it was 100%. Peak starting torque is again 33%. Peak starting current is reduced to 2.6% compared to 6 to 8 times in case of DOL. Now advantages. Operation of the star delta method is very simple. Good torque to current performance. Relatively cheap compared to auto transformer starter. Disadvantage, low starting torque, only 33%. Breaks in supply, because we have to make transition from star to delta, so there is a break in supply, and that break in supply may provide or may overcome the possible transients in the operation of the induction motor. Requires two sets of cable, one for the star, one for the delta, and the motor which is used in case of star delta starter is a 6 terminal motor, 3 for the star, 3 for the delta. Then comes the last one in this category, the auto transformer starter. As the name implies, that auto transformer starter is basically using a winding whose tappings can be changed, and depending on the requirement of our input voltage, we can change the tapping from 0% to 100%. Thereby the output voltage can be made available 0% to 100%. Okay. Now this is what exactly how it looks like. This is an auto transformer winding wherein the tappings can be altered from in terms of fractions of percentage, and this is a stator winding. Now if we look at this, the complete winding is receiving the voltage V1. Now say if I am having a X% tapping on with respect to auto transformer, the voltage which is available to the stator winding will be X times V1. This X may be a percentage, 10% to 90%, 100% we can vary, and because of which the respective torque equation is again changed. Just a moment, I'll show you the torque equation first. See here, X square. In case of DOL, there is no fraction, ISC by IFL whole square into SF. In case of star delta, 1 by 3, and now in case of auto transformer, X square, where X is the percentage tapping of the auto transformer. Now let us discuss about the operation of the auto transformer. We have this as a power circuit, this as a control circuit. Then the three contactors, one is a main contactor, then remaining are the respective tapping transformer contactor, and this is a timer. Thermal overload relay, start push button, stop push button. Okay, and these are the tappings. Initially the supply will be available through tappings, and then after getting about 80% to 90% speed, the supply will be available directly. Let us have a look. Initially the circuit breaker is closed so that the supply is available to the respective terminals. Then when we push the start push button, contactors are energized. Now the supply is available to the tapping transformer, motor started. Then after some time, when it reaches about 80% up to its rated speed, the contactor gets disconnected and main contactor closes, thus receiving the supply from the full winding. This one, receiving supply fully, and now the motor is receiving full supply voltage running at full rated capacity. The same one is explained here. Now if we want to compare these three starters with respect to each other in respect to the operation characteristics, we will have full voltage applied to the motor in case of DOL. Each winding gets 50% of the rated voltage in case of star delta. This we can adjust with respect to auto transformer just by adjusting the tapping of the transformer. As far as starting current in case of DOL is considered, it is 5 to 6 times. It is reduced to 1/3, and then again depending on the percentage tapping in case of auto transformer. 3 windings are generally in star or delta. Now here are first they are connected in star, then they are connected in delta, and normally in case of auto transformer they are connected in delta. 3 wires are required to be connected, 6 wires are required to be connected, and then again 3 wires are required to be connected. Easy to connect motor. Identification is important for start and run position, that is star and delta terminals of the induction motor when you are using star delta starter. Only input and output terminals need to be identified for auto transformer starter. Very easy operation. Requires connections first to be made in star and then requires it to be made in delta. Here a precision is required to adjust the percentage of auto transformer starter winding. Low cost, more cost, very costly. Up to 5 HP, up to 15 HP and more than that. So up to this point, we have discussed 3 different starting methods of induction motor using 3 different starters like DOL starter, star delta starter and auto transformer starter, along with their power circuit, control circuit and the comparison. So we will stop here. That's all for today. In the next lecture, in the next video, we will come with more topics based on the induction motor starters. Thank you. Have a nice time.